Hello and welcome to Dragoncast, episode 17? 17. I'm Gio. I'm a staff member. I have a couple other of these staff members with me. Say hello.
Hi, this
Hi,
is Kaio, one of the other staff members.
hey everyone, this is Tosh, not a staff member.
Yeah, it's the staff cast again. It's been, I think, 2 months. Sorry about that. But we got a lot of interesting things to talk about. First and foremost, let's talk about the thing that's going on currently, the TOP. Kyle, you want to take that off?
Yes, the Tournament of Power has been going on, which has been essentially the minors for the league for a bit. At the time of this being posted, I believe there should be 2 weeks of the minors left. This season, we've switched over from our usual format to do a double elimination style, and it's really made for some extra exciting matches in the off season or during the playoffs. So, please tune in for the last 2 weeks to see who takes it all at the Tournament Power Bowl. I think that's all I got for that.
Yeah. Next up after that, you guys may have heard about it. Just a little bit of news popped up recently about a new game. It's a little bit of excitement in the community. Just Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Nothing big, nothing crazy. Just tad hype about it.
Yes.
No, all the hype.
Yeah. All the hype. Oh my god, it's happening. Yeah, after like what, 15 years? Something like that? 17 years?
Something.
My childhood. That's all I want to
Yeah.
say. My childhood.
It means a lot to people in general who have played any of the original Budokai Tenkaichi games, which is awesome, and I can't wait to buy the game just to play it.
Yeah.
But also for this league, it could mean a potential change in the future. We don't know yet. There's a lot of like prerequisites that we would need to fill, but at the very least, we're going to look into it, and we're very much hoping they cater to us in some way. AI versus AI.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
I think we'll get more into the specifics in the
Yeah.
I will say,
questions
I just found
later.
it funny that we had people, when we posted that, a lot of people were like, I saw this and I immediately thought of DBZ League.
Damn right.
So, like, yeah, let's hope that everyone, like, that all comes together for us and we're all hoping for the same thing.
We need to figure out who the devs are. Got to get in their ears real quick.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the BT4 hype. So we're really looking forward to it. And man, whenever the next actual announcement of any gameplay or any kind of teaser trailer pops up, I think it's gonna get crazy. Give us our first insight into what it actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, we've got some changes that have happened in the main league that we've made in the background. The first and foremost, there's been a change to how the postseason structure works. So instead of doing the regular, you fight within your Kais, and then once the Kai winners in the postseason have been determined, they face each other right up until it gets to the finals. Now it's the top team in each Kai still gets their bye week like normal. That doesn't change. But the teams that get dropped out of the playoffs are the 4 teams with the worst records in the entire league. So you can still make it even if you have the worst record in your Kai, as long as there's 4 teams with the worst record than you in the entire league. After that, the seeding for who faces who is for the non-bye teams. It's just seeded best record, worst record, faces each other, and then so on and so forth. And then you go up and face the bye teams after that, and then it goes on as normal from there. So it should be a little bit more win-loss based, a little bit more geared towards the teams with the better records have a bigger advantage. This does reduce divisional importance a little bit. There's still importance in getting the bye week, so don't worry about that. But it should also mean a little bit of different strategy for how teams approach boost stores and which matches they should favor putting their best lineups in. So we may see a different approach to the league going forth. Hopefully an entertaining approach.
You gotta be more worried about everyone, just not about your guy. So
Exactly. We have a couple other changes. Torch, you want to take some of those?
Oh, so boost store changes. We've talked a lot about this, and we are actually able to add in a few, what is it? A good amount of like bundle Pataras. So we have, what is it? How many? We got 4 in total that are bundles. We have starter kit, which is basically Rising Fighting Spirit, start with full key whenever you come in. Base key power up 1, so let's say someone naturally charges 2 bars of key, they'll end up charging 3 naturally without actively charging for it. Active heart, forgot what I think active heart
It's
is
the weaker indomitable. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you hit someone, you gain a little bit more key onto your melee attacks. You start off with a full tag gauge, so they're immediately able to tag. Quick charge and secret measures. Secret measures, basically, you start off with full blast stocks when you come in. Yeah, full. I'm sorry, I was thinking about the other one. I was ready to control. Secret measures, you start with full blast stocks when you start in a match, and then quick charge. You do, I think, what is it? Extra bonus damage or something like that.
It's the point. So it is a very specific mechanic that the AI will use. For chargeable V2s, there is a ding that occurs while you're charging them part ways through the charge. That's the most optimal point, you get the most damage. That ding happens earlier, so in theory, AI will end up throwing the V2 out earlier for more damage.
Oh, there you go. The next Tara we have is called B2 Bonsai. It gives you a base key power 1, which is I explained earlier. You charge 1 extra bar key naturally now. Your B2s cost half, and you do not lose a bar of health or anything like that, like how I think Halo does.
That's a 6-point Halo.
Yeah, and then you get green aura, just just a little cosmetic. Then the next one is called B1 Bargains. You have spiritual control. All your B1s cost 1 less. Of course, it can't go below 1. You got the B1 KSA effect. So you charge B1s quickly and you come in to the fight once you're tagged in with full blast stocks. Your blast gauge charge speed is up by 20%, so you get a free dragon spirit, and you get green aura as well. The last one is called Closeout Special. You get Savior, Sparking Plus, and Power Rage. Oh, and a green aura. So you're able to come in full max power, your max power stays on for longer, and you get a clash bonus. So those are the main ones that we wanted to do regarding the bundles. We've also added some other boosts, so like double bench. I don't believe that wasn't a thing before. So we have like double bench. Do we have something else? I think?
The only ones that have stayed are remove a limiter and create out a map. There are 3 new ones. So double bench, limit break, and reuse a blue Patara, all non-Patara boosts that should give a bit of unique strategy to how teams approach. Double bench lets you double up your bench. Limit break
does basically you can have an 8-point build and all, and reuse a blue Patara. You can basically have 2 people with the same blue Patara, so 2 attack plus 2s, super plus 1s, however you want to play it out. And on the website and on our Discord, it shows you the appropriate cost for them.
Yeah, so if you want to keep up with all this stuff, the Discord's the first place to go, where you let everybody know immediately there. The website gets updated a little bit after. For the boost store specifically, there are a couple of extra legal Pataras that we've added to the boost store. We've modified a few things there. You can all check it out. Some of the new Pataras that we modded in, we talked about in the previous Dragon Cast, are also part of the boost store now. So you'll see a different usage of the boost store going forward in the season. Hopefully a bit more the usage, but spread across the season.
Okay.
With
that, just going to quickly go through all this. We had a whole bunch of trades and loans. I think we only had 1 trade this season, but we had a whole bunch of loans. such as androids getting what was it? Androids have Cyborg Tau now. Budokai has Supreme Kai, and Derp has Android 19. They did a three-way
Yeah.
trade between them.
These are our first 3-ways ever, I believe.
Yes, I believe so. Um, GT and Rugrats did a loan between each other. GT now has Pan, but they got 4 Zenny, and Rugrats have GT Goku. There was another three-way loan between Muscle, Sentai, and Cold. Cold has Jace, Sentai has Raccoon, and Muscle has King Cold now. King Cold recently, I think in the last Dragon Cast we went over, I believe, um, the Master List changes, and King Cold is now on their Master List now. RW has RW got Tien and Yamcha and 4 Zenny, and they gave Earth Defenders and Vegeta and Yajirobe. The only trade this season that we had was between Royals and Kaiju. Kaiju got Lord Slug, and Royals got King Vegeta.
I know both those teams are very happy about that.
Yeah.
Royals is the team that's done the most trades, I think.
Oh,
since
they
the
have
new
been
league
going
started.
ham since the start.
Because they also, I believe,
They won their
after the first
ball
season,
after their
they
first
did-
loan.
yeah, well, they did Android Frieza, Cyborg Frieza for Android Cooler or Meta Cooler.
For Metacooler, yeah, that was a straight trade.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've done like the most like straight trades too.
Yeah, that too.
Yep. And so with that was all the trades, and now we're in add and drop. And the only thing with that is Budokai, they dropped Kid Goku for early Piccolo, and so that there's a contention going on with that. And I believe we only have one other drop, I believe, and I forgot who it was for. Kui got dropped off the dirt for Ginyu.
Yeah, he's back in the main roster. Is woo.
So Captain Ginyu is back on the main roster, as G said. So we're no one decided to pick up Ginyu, and now we're just waiting to see who's going to pick up Kid Goku. Rugrats are not doing contention for that, and yeah. So we're just waiting to see what's up.
And past that, last thing to mention, just so everybody gets an idea of what our timeline looks like. I believe it's April 13th. That will be the first week of the 2023 preseason, and then June 10th for the main season. For anybody looking for when the 2023 season properly starts, it's still a little bit away. We'll have a few things in between here and now, but there's your dates. That's your timeline. So look forward to it. It's coming close. And with that, should we hop into questions? I think they're all Discord questions this time.
That makes it easier.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yep.
Okay.
Which one was the last one we answered?
We should have.
Oh, that's right. We do the check marks.
Yeah,
Oh god,
we're-
it's all the way from January.
We have a lot of
2nd.
questions. Some of these changes brought upon a lot of questions.
All right. Here,
Starting- you want to do it?
I can. Yeah, why not? I've been quiet. Is it from Havoc? Is it possible to give a Patara that mainly helps Rush V2s? So they are called Power of Rage, Dragon Power, and Unleash Key.
Yeah, so technically we can do modifications of those. We have very minor abilities to ability to mod effects that aren't already in the game. This would be something Mal would be better at explaining, since he's the one actually doing the code injection for this stuff.
Right, but if I understand what he's asking for, I don't think we could do something that boosts the power of Rush V2s and not the power of other V2s. I don't believe that's a power we have.
Yeah, part of how we're limited is we need to be able to modify an effect that's already there somehow. If we have no effect that specifically points to just Rush V2s, we have no way of pointing to just Rush V2s. So unfortunately, we're a little bit locked out.
Yeah. All right.
I guess the other question is a little bit of a spin on that.
Hold on, let me find where this check mark. There we go. Armed Roz then asks, "Is it possible to make a Patara that nerfs Rush V2s?" technically a Patara that nerfs speed 2s, nerfs rush speed 2s. So smart ass answer, yes.
Chase Down Artist technically nerfs clashes, so there's also that.
Right. Yeah, that nerfs the clash part of them. So, but same as what we said previously before. It's we don't have that much control over the effects and that kind of stuff. So maybe one day with BT4, but not not currently with this.
No. Working towards it.
Yeah. Oh, Mal even answered. He said, aside from the clash bonuses, this is not a straightforward mod that I would do. So there we go. Lieutenant Rai asks, is it possible to give characters transformations like Pan?
I mean, it's possible, but like.
Well, we've done that, right? We've done it for Tapion and.
Well, yes, yeah. I think it was just like linking zone, but I guess like maybe if you're trying to add in like, oh, Pan has a Super Saiyan form. Technically, I think what is it? That's code injection or like.
No,
what is
for adding in a new form that doesn't exist already. Mind you, forms in the game are just other characters. It's nothing different. It's the exact same as adding in a new character complete. So we have to have the slot available for that. Until we're confident that we can add in new characters without removing new characters, it's very, very, very unlikely we add in new forms.
So, possible, technically yes, but just not likely at the moment because of that.
Yeah, we can have Pan transform into Pycon, and then have Pycon transform into Tapion, and then Tapion transform into Yajirobe. That's all possible. It's easy enough.
As the Lord intended.
Yeah. You can have it loop even.
Yeah. But yes. So technically yes. From still #1 Showdown Dunce. How do you feel about people asking questions about the game for Dragon Quest? Yes.
I'm assuming they refer to BT4?
This was a day before. No, BT4. No, this is still from January. BT4 wasn't a thing back then.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, I guess if it's a technical question related to the game mechanics, we'd prefer that just asked in general. Than here, this is more like the league specific stuff, but
it's okay to ask questions here.
Yeah,
it's fine. Though Kai was right. If you want like more detailed questions that would be modding related, you'll probably get a better answer in the modding chat because our modders look in there, and they can give you a much clearer answer. Now usually is pretty good at answering people's inquiries around what's doable and what's not. If you just want to ask questions about the game and like, hey, there's this part of the game that I think would be really cool for the league to use as an event or something, yeah, sure, that's all right. Yeah, it's the game, we run it.
Yeah. Yep. From Armed Roz. I was a big fan of the Tenkaichi 4 event last year. Do you know if we'll get a repeat of that with the new TOP teams, or will we get something else?
We will have the Tenkaichi 4 event.
No, not TOP, top teams.
Oh,
but yes.
New top teams.
The answer is yes. We will have the Tenkaichi 4 event after the TOP ends with the top team.
Yes, with top teams.
Too much TOP for you.
Yes. Just like 2 more weeks. Now jumping all the way to March 13th. What pickup / drops have surprised you? Kid Goku.
Yeah,
what ones were you hoping to see?
Hoping for? I don't know if there is any. Like, I think a lot of teams have figured out their main roster pretty well, and the only changes that consistently happen are trading. Oh,
Yeah.
Kui being dropped for Ginyu, I thought was a great idea. I was hoping for
Yes.
that, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm still surprised about Kid Goku being dropped.
I think for me, it's only Kid Goku, considering how well he's done the past 3 seasons.
And how
he has not hit
well
under 40K.
and how not well early Piccolo has done the last 3
Early Piccolo
seasons.
got dropped by an RW, wasn't picked up by androids, hardly used, and yeah. So, I mean, good luck. I'm pretty sure y'all can find something to work out for him, but I don't know.
Right.
It's just
I
like compared to
androids
Kid Goku right now, it does not look too well.
I think androids had a bit of success with early Piccolo when they were putting him on an ultimate stand build. Now, how often he hit that special beam cannon is another question, but it hits really hard, and it does have priority in a lot of situations. So and he has a max power, so there's something there to be worked around.
Right. I'm very curious and interested to see how it goes. It was just shocking to see it happen.
Oh, absolutely. That's the surprise for us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I don't know if I said it. I don't think there was any I was really hoping to see. Like nothing I can think of off the top of my head, at least.
I mean, like I can always hope that GT just drops GT Goku. I can always hope for that, but it's not going to happen. So.
If you loan, they won't. They physically can't.
What? No, they can. We'll make a special rule.
Alrighty. Anyway, here we go. Okay, from Snuffy. Oh, so that was from Dorkard. I don't know if I said his name. From Snuffy Sam. There's a new Tenkaichi game coming out. What are you most hoping to see in the game? And what do you think would have to be in the game for the league to consider switching over?
Gonna just be real quick. I want, of course, all the roster that we have right now. And then just tack on, the extra other people and everything. Even, characters that, kind of lesser known, I guess.
Like Kui.
Well, Kui will already be there, so,
Well,
but, I guess, I just wanted to be able to, the roster to include for everyone, so at least everyone kind of gets, maybe a minor buff to, their roster, at least.
Right.
And of course, keep the same Patars that we have now, and just add it on, because BT3 it has its flaws, but it's perfect to an extent of what we need, and we're able to build on that. So they can just build on that and not take anything away. That would be great.
For this game, in terms of personal one, I want Monaka just for the memes. I want more meme characters.
Put him on dirt.
Yes, I also want Beerus in a Monaka costume.
Oh gosh.
But in general, we need 3 core things, I think, if I can remember them. AI versus AI is a must. That is the first stepping stone for the league to do anything, even small events with it.
Yep.
Outside of just showcasing the game with streamers or staff playing. Then we needed to have Tara's, builds.
Some level of customization.
Yes.
If not an exact replica of Tara's, something along those lines.
Yep. And then the third thing, if I'm remembering right, I think it's just we need to be able to stream it.
Well, that and also roster size. We need enough characters to.
Yeah, if we want to transition this entire league over, we need a massive roster. That's the third core thing.
Right. We can find a way to stream it. That's
to be clear, the streaming thing's more of a soft cap, a soft lock, where if it's not easy to stream for most people, and we can't have multiple streamers stream it, then the weekly schedule becomes hard.
Right. Yeah, we'll
that's more of a human issue than anything.
Right. I think those are the things that we need the most, and if we don't have one of those 3 things, that really kills our chances of being able to use the game.
To be clear,
Um,
if there's AI versus AI, we will most certainly at least do some event with it at
Right.
least once. At least. Because it's fun. It's going to be crazy. Why not?
Right. I'm just hoping for a big roster. That's my
Same.
biggest hope, honestly. Just actually, even more than the big roster, I want characters from everything. I want the Dragon Ball characters, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super.
I
Like-
have a sneaking suspicion that we'll get Dragon Ball Z and Super and the rest as like hopefully huge DLCs in terms of characters. Like, oh, here's the Dragon Ball DLC. Here's the GT DLC.
Are we still
Right.
on the same question? That's nothing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I had to step away.
No, you're good.
It's all good.
I feel just from what I just heard, I feel like they would do a major disservice and make a whole bunch of people happy. Not happy. They'll make a whole bunch of people upset if they decide to go down that route. Because in their eyes, it's like, okay, yeah, it's updated graphics and all that stuff, but they already had it in this base game before, and you're using this name. It's a continuation. Why would you?
Smash Brothers brought everyone back. Everyone else can do it.
like I would say this: it's fine if they do DLC, it's fine. But I would say like for stuff that's not animated right now or like later on, so like the stuff that's happening in the manga, because I don't know if I know it's been out for years, like certain parts, but I don't know what counts as spoiler. Yes. If people don't read the manga. So like
If you haven't read the Moro arc, that's on you at this point.
Oh well, you said it. So like yeah, Moro. You have certain like I think there's an android in that arc too that was used.
Yeah.
So like him or like other people like that. Use those as DLC characters for later on, because they'll either be animated later or they'll just say, all right, we're not waiting for the anime to come back. We're
Right.
just going to go ahead and put it in. Those I'm fine with. But everything else that's already in the game before that, nah.
Well, hear me out for 1 second. The reason I say that it's probably gonna have like some of the Dragon Ball and GT as DLC is because I think Super needs to be in the core game. It would be really weird if their current like run of the show, the most popular and modern thing, isn't already in the game, and they bring back Dragon Ball characters and like the current roster instead. And Super's going to have a ton of characters on its own. They could make a roster bigger than this game with just Dragon Ball Z and Super.
Hell, just with the Tournament Power arc.
So there's that issue where I don't know if they're going to make a roster that's like 500 characters out the gate. Because that's what it's going to be if they bring in everyone from here and Super.
Right. But time will tell.
Yeah. It's all hypotheticals.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. I think we've covered all the bases on that question.
Yes.
There you go. Hopefully you're happy with it.
Yes.
It's a big
From still #1 Showdown once again. What rename to a move so far is your favorite? You forgot your pizzas. For Frieza.
I was rooting for the muscle one, so I have a bit of a bias there. Just renaming half of Broly's moveset to him screaming Kakarot.
I kind of like, well, this is cold as well, but based on coolers. Did my brother do this?
That was good.
Because the DBZA is like, did my brother do this? Yeah, but his was
Well,
smaller. Knew it.
Well, that's where the you forgot your pizza thing is. That's
So yeah.
the bridge too.
Oh, I really would. I was telling X-Mac yesterday that I hope that maybe if Nappa gets dropped, I'll pick up Nappa for Rugrats, because he has a PhD in child psychology with a minor in coding.
Quick shout out to every team that spent their renames on changing generic names to something actually interesting and cool. Let's get rid of all those full power energy waves. Thank you for that. It is a
More
blessing.
JoJo references.
Note to self: put in the me from Snuffy in here.
So yes. From Havoc, what in your eyes are the deal breakers for BT4? I think we kind of went over that with Stuffy. It's got to be
those three, and then the soft.
Com v Com, some sort of customization, large enough roster for the teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
And moving on, we got Andy was super surviving. With the announcement of Project Sparking Zero, the new Budokai Tenkaichi's alleged codename, I've noticed a lot more traffic around Budokai Tenkaichi 3 clips and content recently. Have you noticed a jump in engagement, and do you have any plans to try and get a jump in engagement with the big announcement?
Yes.
Yeah, we're already on top of it. Literally, all right, Andy, just to let you know, literally what is it? Within the first hour that we found out, I think Kyle posted it on Twitter, or he saw it on Twitter and he posted it in the chat. It was like, immediately I went ahead and I saw that people were putting this up, and so I went ahead and we were on top of it. So we're good with that. Made sure I posted on at least the announcement video on TikTok and what is it? I know on YouTube.
Yes, and we have noticed. We've noticed a jump in subscribers, engagement, people joining the Discord.
Yeah, we've been trying to do like polls and all that stuff with the community on both YouTube and Twitter at least. So like, yeah, we've been doing that, and a lot of people have been voting or like commenting under that. So we're trying to stay on top of that and ride this hype.
We're gonna milk this bitch for all she's worth.
As more trailers come out, hopefully soon, we will continuously ride the hype, because come on, man, we gotta hope, we gotta pray that it goes our way with those requirements.
Listen,
exactly.
Where y'all new DBZ news channel?
True.
Forget everyone else, just come to DBZ League.
But it's been great.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll keep being great.
Next question from Andy. With a lot more traffic in the trades and loans market, and probably the quietest drop ad period in League's history, in this one's history definitely, would you call the Master List changes a huge success? Yeah.
Oh my god. Can I just... It was a year's worth of like prep to make those Master List changes, and it was a very, very...
It felt longer.
Oh, it definitely felt that was a very dragged out season, partially because that conversation started before the season started, and it kept coming up, and we have to keep
I don't want to talk about it.
Reworking it. I know.
Does that answer your question?
I hated regular Master List conversations. This was...
We were being so thorough with it, and
yes.
The fact they got a good reception, and the fact that most teams were immediately interested in utilizing their extended Master List for trades and loans is exactly what we were hoping for. This is perfect. This is the exact outcome that we could wish for. So absolutely over the moon with it.
Yes. Last question from Andy. With the new items coming in, would you say that they've sufficiently rocked the meta like you expected?
Not until the main season starts. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I will say only that I know it raised concerns, like for people, in a good way. I would say that. I can only speak with my team. It was just like some people saw how like Kid Trunks is using UIO, or like I can say for Cinema, Demonic Bargain on Janemba. I'm scared of that right now. So like,
and I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the characters of mine when that was being put together. There's a few characters we knew had the passive charge rate to really use it.
Yeah,
so it's just like, it has the potential and everything.
Yeah.
But, main season.
So what?
Like these guys said. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. While we can't comment on if it has rocked the meta, I'm at least happy with the amount of discussion that teams have had with the new Pataras. Which I think is all we can ask for, really. At least it's not like we put them out and then everyone went, you know.
Yeah, testing I think shows that there's at least the big ones, the like completely new setup ones, UIO, key control, demonic bargain, focus shot. Those core ones that are just a new way to build have been used the most. I'm happy to see that. Those are the ones that would shift the meta if they were used consistently in the main season, so it's a positive sign going forward. I don't know if it will shift the meta. We'll see if like Power Rage and launches support supersedes them again.
Okay. Alrighty. Next question from Havoc. If BT4 does meet staff's check marks for a league migration, what teams would you say are guaranteed to migrate as well, and what team concepts do each of you hope to pitch for?
I don't know if we can answer the first.
Yeah,
we don't know the roster.
Like I think the only team that could technically be guaranteed is like Earth Defenders. Like, but we don't know any other team. We don't know how many characters from it are going to be in there. Like for Cold, we don't know if King Cold's going to make the cut. We don't know if Cooler could make the cut. Like, it's we just don't know enough about who's going to be in the game to even try to say who's guaranteed.
Yeah, because there's two things. Even if a team gets all their characters, their base 5 characters transferred over, it may still be difficult to recreate them if we need to use those characters for other new teams, because their rosters are completely different now, or maybe they don't have the necessary characters, or who knows. There's so much to take into account. Am I hoping for any specific teams? Nah.
I mean,
I like teams, but
I could see like a Tournament of Power team possibly being.
I mean, at that point, then it's just changing Budokai, in my opinion.
But
it could be some kind of.
But either way, it's still way too early to even hazard guesses on that.
I do hope less for the team and more just for that they have kaijus.
Yes.
They have giants. I really enjoyed their work, that unique character type. So I hope there's enough of those again.
Yeah, that would be nice. Variety in character models and play styles like that. All right. From Sean, most important question: how much do you miss having me on staff? Detailed responses only.
We don't.
Who are you?
Yeah. Done.
I'm sorry. Do you guys know this guy?
Nah, I don't.
I've never met him in my life. No, we miss you, buddy. Sort of, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I paused way too long in between.
I miss you taking on some of the work. I miss you doing some of the testing. That's what I miss.
Yeah.
We miss the labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an awkward transition, huh?
Great transition, y'all. Great transition. Yeah. Let's go.
Next question.
No, we love you, Sean. We love you.
Yeah. We're just teasing you. From Snuffy Sam, what are you hoping to see out of Android 21 this year, assuming the team picks her up? Destruction. I want domination and mass destruction from her.
A team will probably pick her up. I will say that much. RW has been solely testing her on every 4v4 and every test. So she's definitely getting picked up.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. I'm going to try you.
Yeah, at the very least, novelty. I think will get the better of someone.
And she has been doing particularly well in the TOP. Like, yes, that is old difficulty, but her photon wave spam, holy crap.
Yeah, she is a B2 specialized character, so she will do a bit better in the TOP, in theory.
We're trying to sell her.
I know. Here's the thing. I don't think she'll be mass destruction crazy, ruin the league, in a wave type of thing.
No, I meant like 45k mass destruction, not genocidal
like,
70k.
I'm thinking more like 40k, because that's what she's supposed to be built for.
Yeah.
Just be the most average character. She's worth what she's worth.
Yeah.
So hopefully she'll be where we expect her to be. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe a team will find something about her that we didn't realize was there, and we'll have to panic about it.
Yeah, but we'll cross that bridge once it happens.
Yeah.
Cool. From Armed Roz, what are your hopes and worries for the upcoming Tenkaichi game?
We talked about this reference.
Yeah.
We hope it's good. We worry it's bad.
Yeah.
We're
Hopes,
being
hopes.
cautious.
We can use it. Worries that we can't use it.
That's. We'll get a lot of questions about this, obviously, because it's such a big thing.
Yes.
But we're going to be reiterating a lot, unfortunately, just because we talk.
That was why that's why I was happy we went so hard with the first one from Snuffy, because it kind of answers these other questions. So cool. Next question from Mr. Boo. With the restructuring of playoff entry, what is the importance of divisional matches and the point of divisions as a whole now? Bye weeks.
Bye weeks. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Your bye week is still it helps you skip an entire section of the playoffs, which is a huge advantage. And what Kai you're in, or what division you're in, makes it either easier or harder to get that bye week.
Also, I would just say, to be fair, the whole point of divisions was mainly just bragging rights and to see where you stacked up against everyone else. So, like, in terms of the point of divisions, that's what it was. You can still do well, and divisionals help you, regardless on if their point is kind of lessened with this restructure. It's still, the overall part of it is still bragging rights, essentially.
Yeah. I also want to give, this is my personal view, not how we handled it from a staff point. I just want to make clarification first, add that disclaimer. I personally don't care too much about divisions and divisionals. I think they were put in there as and I don't know what Twee's thought process was initially, but my understanding is it was put in there when he made the league as a way of mimicking football and to mimic that structure, the NFL structure. But the reason I believe football and other, especially American sports, handle it the way they do with divisions and conferences is due to the teams physically having to travel very far, so they face their divisional teams that are nearby them more than teams that they have to fly like coast to coast for. We don't really have that issue in the league, so divisionals don't have like an innate. There's not like an innate need for them. So I'm more okay leaning towards pure competitiveness in terms of highest seed versus lowest seed than I am towards divisionals. I do think it has a big history in it, so I'm glad we didn't remove it completely, but that's my personal view on the situation.
Also, the divisions let us continue doing like the Kai event side matches, like the Gauntlet, the Boss Rush.
And that's part of like the history that we built up, and the history has affected our structure. So yeah, there's purpose, but
yeah. It's so that's the points. From Havoc, why no BT4 mod side event like last year? It's coming up. It's coming. X-Matt, next question. The new game is obviously pretty good for the league when it comes to generating interest around it. However, given that there has been big changes this season in regards to Master Lists and Bataras, is the idea of switching to BT4 somewhat off-putting, at least in the short term? No.
In short term, well, it's not off-putting, mind you. If the game dropped and it had everything we needed, would we switch within the year? Probably not. It's very, very unlikely. There's a lot of like testing and double checking that go into it. What we probably could do is, and I'm not making any promises, I'm not making any guarantees, this is off the cuff, we could create like a small side event with it, or a mini league with it, and see how that functions on its own as a testing ground for the new game. And then let that grow more naturally, whether it be a copy of the main league eventually, or if it's its own. That's more likely to happen in the short term.
And plus, I'm not upset that we spent the time doing those changes and then finding out that a new game came out, because even if the new game is perfect for what we need, we're not going to switch over. We still need this full season to do the old one because that's starting up in next month. We're going to have to take some time to test the new game to make sure that there's nothing busted and for balancing and figuring out teams. So the changes that we worked on and spent a lot of time on with the master list and that kind of stuff, that's still going to affect probably 2 more seasons worth of the league, possibly. At least 1 for sure. I'm not. So I'm not bitter at all or off-put by the idea of switching over after all the work we did, because at least we will get 1 better season with all the work we did.
Honestly, I wouldn't even consider it switch. I am so convinced at this point, just that, like, thinking about it, I don't think it will be easy to fully switch. I don't think it'll be a 1-on-1 in any way.
Right.
Like, we probably shouldn't consider it a switch and just should consider it, if it happens, a new league.
Right.
Because that's what it'll be. It'll be a new league.
Yeah. Exactly. We'll stop doing the old league. So, technically a switch in that concept.
Yeah, but a switch in our content.
Yeah. Next question from Armed Roz. With the expansion of the master lists, there were a lot of trades and loans. Are the amount of trades and loans that happened about what you expected, more or less?
It's actually more than I expected. I was really hoping the teams would utilize these master lists, but I thought a lot of teams were still going to be hesitant to go all in. I'm glad they weren't. I'm glad I had a lesser expectation of their want for change and for movement, because the whole reason the master list expansions was suggested was, well, we want change and movement in the league because we think that makes it fresh. And we want to make sure that the teams still enjoy it, even if there's a lot of change and movement. So the fact that you guys are completely into the idea of making those changes yourselves, perfect. Makes things easy.
Yeah. No, I was happy with what we had. Because similar thoughts. I was afraid that with some of the expansions, maybe teams would do a little less to play around with what they got access to or whatnot. But no, I'm very happy with the amount we got. I don't know if I had like a number in my mind even going into it that would have been my, this is what I think is going to happen. I don't even think I had that. But I'm happy with what we got.
I was expecting like half of the league, maybe a little bit more than half, to participate. Almost everyone participated. Almost everyone.
And we had some 3-ways.
Yeah, which was exciting. That was part of the reason for it.
3-ways usually are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Next question from Andy. Do you have any general advice for people using the new Pataras? Read.
Read what they do, understand them, maybe test them.
That's the most general advice I can
give. Because different people have different views on how they should be used, and that's fine, and that's great, and that means we're going to get a bunch of different applications done, which is what I want to see for something new. But being as one of the people who worked on them, I have my own views on how some of them should be used, and not every staff member agrees with me, and that's fine too. Key control should be for melee characters primarily. Doesn't mean a spammer can't use it, but the idea of having that active key negative is to discourage spammers just having a bloated build of just nothing but spam Pataras. And what this should do for melee characters is give them that extra oomph in their melee, so they'll have more dodging ability, or hopefully they'll sprinkle in more B2s because they'll save their key more often. For spammers and for defensive players, you have UIO. You get a little bit of attack negative, but you get similar benefits, reduced key loss, not as great. And if you have the ability to go into max power, especially with a max power B1, you just make your max power B1 a very small after image strike B1. This is very strong. Try utilizing it. You may think the shorter max power mode time will reduce the likelihood of an ultimate being thrown. It can, but I've also seen a lot of AI throw out B2s and ultimates after they auto dodge with UIO because it puts them in like the perfect position to throw ultimate. So the AI actually gets like better opportunities to do what it wants to do.
Although do remember that the AI still has to initiate the dodge. It's not guaranteed everything's gonna miss.
Well, the AI doesn't have to initiate the dodge in max power. That is
okay.
After image strike. Sometimes it jinks out and it still gets hit, but for the most part, it's just after image strike.
Okay, gotcha.
You do have Mirage though, so that's always active.
Yes.
But those two mainly, and then Demonic Bargain. If you have somebody with a high passive charge rate, see if it works on them. It can be good.
Yep. Next question from Zelo. We've got all these questions and such throughout the years, and the amount of time, staff, moderators, and even our dedicated mod team helping out. I figured this is the most important question for y'all. How are you guys holding up? Are y'all doing well? As I know, burnout is a thing from time to time. It's important to remember you guys are human, just like the rest of us, and it's good to speak on how you guys are doing.
I appreciate this question. That's a very nice and thoughtful question.
Yeah.
Yeah, burnout absolutely hits
yes.
from time to time. We've like mentioned yes, Masterless burnt a lot of us out very badly.
There were some discussions of that were yeah.
I mean,
respectfully, but
yeah, we get burnt out, we get frustrated, it happens. The good thing is, and I'm very glad about how this league is set up, we have a rotational system for all volunteer position. If you want to leave, you're free to leave, and we will see if we can pull more people in. We've had commentators leave, we've had staff members leave, we've had testers leave.
We had a lot of commentators leave.
Yes. Yeah, but I still got... Well, actually, the only one from the very start is Ryan, but we still have two like veteran commentators. And we've had staff members rotate out. And for staff specifically, we ask every year at the end of the season, because we know this position stresses people out. Who wants to still be a staff member? Is anybody looking to drop this year or next?
Yeah.
We always ask that. And then we plan for someone's dropping when we get that information.
Yep.
Makes it easy, makes it like non-fully committal, which is good because you don't want to feel like you're stuck and you're trapped.
Yes.
So we have methods to keep things going, and we also have a 7-person staff specifically. So if somebody is busy or stressed out or burnt out or mentally fatigued, they can say, "Hey, I'm just not going to be around very much for a little while."
Yep.
Anyone else picks up the slack.
Which is huge.
Yes, it's very, very huge. So we got measures in place, and I'm very happy that these have been working. This system has been working.
What are we talking about?
We're on Zelo's question about how we're doing.
So I'm talking about like our rotational system and how we have enough staff members to like cover. The system's in place to help with that stuff are working.
Okay.
I appreciate the
So
question.
thank you.
We're doing okay.
And now on to the last question from Snuffy Sam. Which of the new boost-specific batars, either ones from the base game or the new ones, are you most interested in seeing?
Ooh, let's see. I gotta look through that.
I'm really
good one.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm here all night.
No, I'm very interested in the BT Bonsai package. That one I really do want to try. The B1 bargains is cool. I really wish that it had the full KSA effect. That is my only gripe with that one. And I'm also interested in using the reuse of Blue Katara, to be honest. So those are like my main ones that I am very interested in seeing.
all those like new packaged Pataras are gonna be. I don't have a great idea of how they're gonna be used, just because they have so many effects. But I'm looking forward to seeing the chaos they create and that ensues. Um, I'm happy to see some of the new Pataras that got modded in this season in the boost storm. I think those are gonna be really fun. I'm really happy that we added in the Unleash Lane Power Pataras. I think those are very powerful Pataras in the right circumstance. Obviously, not for every character.
Right.
So hopefully we see them getting used a bit more now that they're in boost store. I really do think they can get some awesome use. And then Satisfying Blow is going to be crazy. Just to see it ruin defense builds.
Yeah.
Or buff defense
Or-
negative characters.
Yeah. I was
Every
gonna
time
say.
I see 18's Kiss, I'm reminded of the version that's in Raging Blast 2, which basically made all your B2s unblockable. I think.
Oh.
I think it was your B2s and your ultimates were unblockable. So
Oh my God.
so every time I see that, but I think that's the ping pong one, 18's Kiss.
I think so.
Yes, it's basically chase down artist with no negative.
And Satisfying Blow, what was that? They
Satisfying Blow
damage.
is
I mean, the
B2 and all. Yeah, ignore defense modifiers in all directions. So if you have a defense negative, even naturally, it doesn't apply. Same with a defense plus.
That's
So it's
the
a bit of a
only-
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably be best used on characters like Raccoon or Nappa, who run sometimes defense builds with their already
Broly.
high defense.
Broly, who
Or-
can
or-
get
yeah,
a
Broly, yeah.
defense +5 if he really wants to.
Exactly. So if you can match up your character against those defense monsters, you can get through some crazy damage.
Yep.
Uh,
Or
beyond-
characters that spam the defense boosting B1s.
Sure. Beyond that, I'm actually more looking forward to the non-Patara boosts. I think those are the ones that change the strategy of the boost store the most. So those are the ones I'm most excited for.
Yeah, makes sense. Neat. And with that, I think
Last question.
that was it.
Oh my god, those are torn of questions. It was great though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's I don't think we have anything else to announce, so that will be the Dragon Cast for this month. We'll probably have another one in a month or two. Hopefully in a month.
Or
If
not.
You have, or not. We'll see. I will try to make sure that we remember to hopefully, potentially, I don't know, it might happen. We'll see. I can't promise anything.
I think the only other thing that we're waiting on right now is just one team to decide if they want to pick up. And then it's FA/map bidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
map
music.
bidding. Okay.
Don't forget
whatever.
music bidding.
it's
I'm
very
like, what?
important.
Music is the most important one.
You need to jam out during your fights, okay? And you need to jam out to the right thing.
If your music sucks, your team sucks.
True. We should really check the stats on the music ones. But yeah, with that in mind, that will be this Dragon Cast. If you have any questions that came
missed
up to you while watching, yeah, you missed out on it, that you wanted to ask or whatever, you can leave a comment in this YouTube video. We'll be putting up another community post asking for questions in the future when the next Dragon Cast is coming near. Or, my recommendation, join the Discord. Almost everything Dragon Ball Z League related happens in the Discord. If you want to follow what's happening with your team, any lineup changes, free agents being added, maps, music bidding, you can just watch. If you don't even want to participate, it's still a lot of fun just to see what's going on.
Yeah,
And they
it's,
do.
And if you do want to participate, stats team, graphics.
I would recommend starting on a team first.
coaching spot,
I'm talking about for the people that are
staff
listening.
positions.
That was better.
Can always use more of those.
We could always use more help. Absolutely. This is a volunteer run league. Everybody who works on it does it out of the goodness of their heart because they want to see this league continue. Same with all of us here. So if you're interested in that or in just lurking and seeing the news on Dragon Ball Z League up to date, join the Discord. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys hopefully in a month, maybe later.
Yep.
See you
Yeah.
all at the next stream.
Have a good one.
Bye.